Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our October Mornings with Mayesh show. I'm Yvonne Ashton, your host for today. We'll be joined by Shelley and Dave as well, and we're here to answer your flower questions. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to come on in. So I'm just going to go through some housekeeping and some announcements. I have some fun things to share with you guys. Jennifer's already here. Good morning, girl. So come on in, say good morning. Let us know who you are and where you're from, and we'll get started in a few minutes. All right, so I also wanted to let you guys know that ask you right now, while you're coming in, if you could share this with your flower friends, I would really appreciate that. Just let the flower world know that this amazing show is getting started and we answer your questions. Also, if you guys are new to the show and you have a question, feel free to add it in the comments below. If we have time, we'll definitely get to it. If we have time and I also feel like we can answer it, because sometimes we need to do a little bit of research too. Also, I wanted to let you know, as usual, our replay is up on the blog. So you go on over to mayesh.com, go up to the blog. I'll be posting the video replay. I'll also be posting the podcast replay and all of our show notes. So that way, whether you want to watch us, listen to us, or read, we give it to you any way you want it. So I hope that you appreciate that. And also, I had someone ask about closed captioning, and I always add that to this video and as well as our design videos. For this video, though, because it's so long, it usually takes us like about 2 days to get that up. So if you need the closed captioning, I will always have that. It just always takes me a little bit of time to get it added to this video. I also wanted to let you know that today's show is brought to you by Mayesh Design Star Flower Workshop Tour. Ooh, I always feel like a show host when I say that, or, television person, which I'm not. Anyhow, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're not aware already, that we have one workshop left for this year. It's in Salt Lake City, November 12th and 13th. And it's going to be, as usual, amazing. I hope that you can join us. We're going to be doing bouquets and installations and a really cool mood boarding activity. We have a networking time, time for Q&A, and of course, you get beautiful pictures. So Kaylee Young is our design star. She's amazing. You're going to love meeting her. And then we also have Nicole Cleary there. She's our photographer, doing her thing with the camera. And I just misspoke because we have a different photographer, Nicole. By the way, I want to give her a shout out. She just had a baby. So congratulations, Nicole. We love you, and we're definitely going to miss you at Salt Lake. But I know that our backup photographer, she's going to be amazing too. We always have really good professionals working with us. I also wanted to let you guys know, and I've been warning you, right? I've been saying this for a while now, but our keto workshop sold out last week. Woo! So super excited about that. I've had several people already reach out wanting to know how they can get their hands on a ticket. And I am, along with my team, are working out the logistics of everything, making sure we have enough room, we have enough ways to get people back and forth and what we're doing. And supplies and all of that. So once I have that figured out, and if we can open it up, I will do that for a few more seats. But I won't know for a little bit. So you just got to be patient. If you want a ticket, reach out to me. So that way I'm going to kind of keep a list of people who are interested, and I will make sure that those people know about it first. So let me know. But it's super, super, super exciting, and it's going to be amazing. I think my last announcement I wanted to make is just something really fun, and I wanted to make sure that you guys all know about it. But we're doing this really cool Instagram challenge, and I just want to make sure that you guys are all involved. And it's all about our founding year, 1978. We're using kind of that decade, I suppose. So we're going to be doing a throwback 1970s Instagram challenge. We want you to post your designs that are maybe directly from 1978. Some of you OGs that are on here, been doing this for a while, and you have pictures, upload those. I think that would be amazing. Or if you want to create something that looks like it's from 1978, that would be cool. Or if you want to do something that's inspired by the 70s, that would be cool too. Do like a modern twist of it. So we didn't put too many parameters around the challenge, and we're going to post a link to that in the comments so that you guys can go ahead and check that out, of course, after the show, because I want you to stay with me. Don't leave me yet, okay? Don't leave. And that's about it. Also, make sure that you mark your calendars down for November 20th, because that's when we will be back. November's a little weird month because we have a workshop going on, and I think the elections and all of that, but we don't want to do it after Thanksgiving, right? Because can you believe it? We're talking about Thanksgiving. So November 20th is the date, and that's a little bit later than normal, but there's so many things going on. It was the one date that I could figure out and make it work. And that's it. So I'm going to go through and say good morning. Let's see. Erica, I see your question. Great. Oh, a couple questions. That's awesome. Christine, good morning. How are you? She's from PA. Our art family getting ready to add floral design to the business. Awesome. And after much research, we'll be working with Mayesh. Thank you, Christine. That's awesome. I love it. I love hearing those stories. Tina, good morning. Good morning, Hannah from New York City. Woo, woo. I love New York. And actually, I was just looking at my Facebook. I love Facebook for a few reasons. One of them is because they show you what happened a year ago on this day or whatever day. And so a few years ago, I was in New York City for one of my best friend's weddings, and it was amazing. I love it. Amber, good morning. Good morning, Carolina from Florist Review. Big shout out to them. Erica Patterson from North Carolina. Charlotte's in the house. We love Charlotte. And Hannah, good morning. So we're going to get started, guys. I'm going to bring on Dave and Shelley. Just give me a moment. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. Great.
So I just want to give you guys a special shout out and just everyone that joins us, because I know this time of year is really crazy for everyone. I know from personal experience, because I literally don't see my husband except at soccer practice. That's it. He always makes it to that. And then he gets up really, really early. And I know everyone just works like crazy amount of hours right now. So thank you for helping me out with this show and taking a little bit of time and hanging out with us this morning.
Our pleasure, Yvonne.
So this is, I feel like it's been a while, but I have a Flower 411, guys, to share with you. Desi's going to post that link. And shout out to Desi. Good morning, Desi. She's going to be posting. Yeah, good morning. She's going to be posting a link for you guys. So you can check that out. I love the Flower 411. It's not anything fancy. It doesn't have really cool pictures. But I think it has really great information, because it's everything from our purchasing department directly from them about what's going on with flowers, what's coming in, what's going out, what's hard to get, sometimes where it's coming from. So especially for those of you who might be a little bit newer to the biz, because I feel like a lot of you guys watch this show, make sure you check that out, because it's a really great resource on top of your rep, of course. So check it out. And then, of course, I just want to hand it off to Dave and Shelley, because I know they have some pretty fun flowers to show us for fall. Fall, y'all.
Am I going first, Dave?
You're up first, girl. Take it away.
Dave and I are all excited about Halloween this month. It's one of my favorite holidays. Happy fall, happy October. And I did a little theme with mine, and I also pulled some old school flowers, but with a twist. So the first thing I want to show you guys is these guys are called coconut ice sunflowers, and they're actually a white sunflower. They're really amazing. They look a little pale yellow, I think, on the screen, but they're kind of a creamy color. And these have been really fun to use this year. So if you're wanting to do a really cool Halloween arrangement in like all whites and blacks, you could incorporate those with these guys. These are white cosmos, spooky white cosmos.
So cute.
Love them. They're so pretty. We are getting these from Oregon right now. And then I have a really cool tulip. This one's called Leaf Star. It's one of my favorite tulips. Tulips can kind of be a sort of old school or pedestrian flower, but when you find really cool, unique ones like this, especially with this really kind of fluted, they call it a lily-shaped tulip. Sorry, I'm going to count it. Lily-shaped tulip. So we have those. So
that's cool. Was that called Movie Star, you said?
Libra Star, I think is how it's
pronounced.
pronounced.
Libra Star. Sorry. So
we've got a little white theme going there. And then these are everyone's favorite white majolica spray roses. I think we sell more of these than sometimes hydrangeas. But the reason I'm showing you these, I mean, this isn't an unusual or a new flower, but this particular grower has amazing white majolicas. Look at those guys.
Wow. Yeah, they're beautiful.
And these are a favorite with all of our studio event and wedding florists for just because they open up, they look like a small garden rose when they open, and you can get at the center with that. So continuing with all these beautiful white flowers. And then I have, I'm going to throw in a little dramatic red. This is a new rose I just recently started purchasing for some of my clients. It's called Merlot. And another old school favorite red, but a little different color. It's kind of a claret. There used to be a rose that we sold a ton of years ago called Forever Yours. And this is like its darker, more macabre sister. It's got a really deep bluey red color. Very pretty. So you can see you could get a really cool effect with those. And then I've got some black millet.
Those are always fun.
Spooky. So good combination if you want to do like a goth or macabre kind of look for Halloween. I love these combos. So fun. And then quicksand roses, but these are Dutch quicksand roses. And these are a shorter, little smaller stem, but the color is kind of like the color of the center of a quicksand. And it's very pretty. It opens up pretty. It doesn't have as high a petal count, but it's very pretty. So those are my moody, cool combos. But I love the whole white, black goth look you could do for Halloween as opposed to like, you know, kitschy yellow, orange, purpley kind of colors. So a little more sophisticated. So take it away, Dave.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. All right. So I'm doing a whole Death Becomes Her theme this week.
I love it, you guys.
So these are not usual for things that I show, but we have really cool dried stuff in right now, and even some painted stuff. And you guys know I don't really care for tinted, but anyway, let's start out with these awesome Chinese lanterns. We do bring them in fresh when they're available. This time of year, though, most of it's going to be dried as we go into the season. They'll do mass harvest and they'll pull off all the leaves and then they'll dry it. But I mean, these things will last a long time. You just bring them out every year, dust them off real carefully. So kind of cool. Sounds like a rattlesnake too. Grasses are hugely in season right now and very popular. So I probably showed this before and I'll show it again because it's just amazing. The pampas grass right now has got kind of a pinkish tone to it that we got in this week. So it's funky. It's like a, I don't know, muted mauve tone. It kind of goes with the quicksand roses. So I just wanted to show that.
Very pretty.
We're getting these preserved and dried foliages in, and these are uber cute. This is quercus or oak, but this is a miniature variety. And I mean, how sweet is that? You can just tuck that down into a little centerpiece for your table. I mean, you could even put that in a bridal bouquet if you had that kind of a theme going. So I just thought it was really cool looking. And I'm going to resurrect this again this year because every year people go gaga over this. We can get it out. Cotton on a stick. I mean,
they're so awesome.
I know. I've actually seen bridal bouquets done of this entire stuff. I think we showed that a while back, but it's just amazing. And it actually grows here in Arizona. We have huge agriculture with this kind of stuff, and cotton actually grows really well here. So it's kind of fluffy, kind of spooky, kind of fun. And then, of course, to finalize Death Becomes Her theme, we have to address the obvious, paint problem that they had in the movie. We paint it back up, tape it back on, right? We are dyed flowers are getting way out of control, more popular now, and so I'm just gonna go with it. All right, I'm gonna open up and accept it that this is the way it is right now.
Consumers seem to love it, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Absolutely, it's not about me; it's about what the client wants. So we have a Colombian grower who I will not divulge the name, but they are actually doing this antique collection of dyed carnations. And there are some uber funky colors in the mix. Some of them look a little more natural than others, but I mean, there's this.
It looks very 1970s, honestly.
Okay, segue into the whole 40th anniversary party theme. So we've got teal. We've got kind of a light, I don't know what you'd call that, seafoam green color. We've got a mauve color. I mean, come on, how 1970s does this get? This kind of went bicolor on this one with the orange and yellow. Anyway, I just thought they were really funky cool, and I've actually sold some for next week for a wedding. The mauve color, I believe this is called Grizzly is the name of this variety. Anyway, they all have names too. So. And before I finish, okay, you guys have probably seen we've gotten a few tree peonies in here lately, but this will be our first official week of carrying the Chilean peonies. So yay, everybody, they're finally back. In about 2 more weeks, New Zealand is going to come on also, which means the market will all of a sudden be flooded with peonies again. I know everybody's been waiting and substituting with garden roses and whatnot. So this is really good news for all you wedding designers. And we're right in the heart of wedding season now. So anyway, that's mine for this week.
So fun. I'll have to now watch Death Becomes Her again.
It's all over TV this time of year, so.
Yeah, I know. I love all the movies that come back out for this time of year. I saw a couple questions that relate to what you guys just talked about. Yeah. The first one is from Gay. She said, "Does the pampas grass dry well, or does it shed?" Anyone know?
It will shed a little bit. You can use a light surface sealer, such as hairspray, will keep it from shedding as much. It is, most dry flowers are going to shed a little bit. It's just the nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try to do a tutorial about how to dry pampas grass and other drieds. And yeah, we used to use old Aquanet to seal dried flowers back.
Aquanet. Wow.
Spritz Forte is how 80s, right?
Oh yeah, 80s too. Yeah, it sheds really badly, but if you dry it fresh, it won't shed as badly. So when you leave it in the vase where it kind of explodes into puffiness, that's when so leave it out of water when you're drying it. But always drying fresh is a good idea.
Very cool. Good tips, guys. Thank you. I'm going to head on into our questions now, if that's all right with you all. Yeah. Our first question came from, so I did this whole Instagram live thing. I just jumped on because speaking of, let me show you real quick. I don't know, maybe I'll wait and I'll show it to you later, but I wanted to show you guys my cool little contraption I got to attach, let me see it this way. And my phone, see my phone clips there, it has a little light that.
Oh, it's like a little ring light.
Yeah, and then it clips on, let me bring it up this way. It clips onto your desk. So before I used to balance my phone on my Contigo cup.
Sounds dangerous.
I have to stack some books and all of that fun stuff. So now I have a cool little contraption that I can just clip on my desk and do the Instagram lives on my phone and not have to worry about it falling down. And I don't have to drag out. I bring out bigger lights for this kind of thing. And so it's nice and easy and fun. But I was doing this live video, just trying to, test it out, see if I could get some good questions. And I did. All the questions came pretty much from this Instagram live that I did using my cool little contraption. So this one is from Instagram live, and so I don't know who it was from, but they wanted to know, when do the Christmas greens arrive?
Ah, well, they're already
talking
arrived.
about the C word.
They have already arrived, people. We actually have stuff in our inventory. I went and looked. There's mixed greens. There's Port Orford cedar, Douglas and noble fir. There are some other novelties available. Just give your sales rep at Mayesh a call, and we can bring them in. I know a lot of people are doing Christmas photo shoots and mock-ups right now. So it is available for you. And now that peonies are coming in, you can incorporate those into your little high-end Christmas designs. We are pushing pre-book. So please give us your pre-books. That helps our buyers know how to stock our coolers. It's very important to collect those. So that's a little hint I wanted to put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Port Orford now, and I think usually the majority of the greens we get right the week before Thanksgiving, so around Thanksgiving. So
yeah, but you can order them, and so just give us a call. Let us know.
Good stuff. I just wanted to address this one real quick. It's from Untethered Flowers Set Free, and her name is Allie. Hi, Allie. She wants to know what is the name of the resource you were discussing for newer florists just before Shelley started showing her flower pics. And that is referring to our Flower 411 blog post. And you can just go to mayesh.com/blog, or just go to mayesh.com and click on blog, and you'll see it right there towards the top. We try to post it every month. It just depends how busy all of our buyers are, and we're like, please, we need this information, and they do it for us and the company and all of that. So we just thought it was a good resource to share with you guys, and we can post that link directly into the comments again for you guys. Good question. And then let me see. Gay said, how can we find the topic on how to dry grasses? And Gay, again, we'll post that onto the blog and post it all over social media. But our blog is our go-to place for all of our content. And this also reminds me that we worked on a rose guide for you guys, and it is done. We're just working on all the landing pages and emails and all that fun stuff, all the technical back-end things. So that should be done hopefully this week. So look for that soon. I'll, of course, make sure everyone knows, and it'll be all over the website because it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited about it. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let me head on over to the notes and move on to our next question, which is from Huntress Florals. She says, can you give recommendations for great schools? I've taken courses at the Market with American School of Floral Design and with Shelley, as well as Phil, I know I'm going to mispronounce his name. How do you say his last name?
Reloda.
There you go, up in OC. I'm interested in credible international programs as well. So I think this is a great question. We're going to post a link because SAF put together like a big kind of list of all the floriculture schools in the U.S. And then, I'm sure you guys might have heard of things, and we'll get to that. But, I love kind of Googling things like that too, and kind of just digging in, because figuring out like what are the great ones or the best, I think it also just depends on what you're looking for and what you want to learn, kind of where you're at, and how you like to learn. There's so many different variables, and I think it's really subjective. So I did go ahead and look on some Facebook groups as well, which I love. That's like such a big, huge well of knowledge. If you guys aren't involved with any of the Facebook groups, I highly recommend finding those and just asking to, be included in the group, because it's really a great place. So the first one that seems to stand out, the first couple of ones when I'm going through the groups, is the Floral Design Institute and Florology Institute. People seem to say a lot of great things about those programs. And we have two links, one from Florist to Florist Facebook group, and then the other one is a link from Real Flower Business with Allison Ellis Facebook group. I love both of those. So we'll post the links in the comments so you can check those out. And of course, they'll be on the show notes. But I just did want to kind of throw this over to Dave and Shelley and see if you guys had any thoughts as well.
Yeah, most states have their own florist associations also, so you can check in with your local stuff. There's community college classes also. they really go everywhere from like casual coffee shop workshops to all the way up to accredited stuff. So it depends on the level of, you know, do you want to be certified for it, or is this just a learning experience for you? So I would Google it. Like Yvonne said, there's tons of information. And if you put in your search engine local floral design schools, it will get you in contact with people that are closer to your area where you're at.
Right, right. And speaking of international, I feel like, do you guys follow Staci Carlton? I think she's AIFD. She's young and does lots of really cool things, and she's all over. She's really involved with the industry, and so I follow her. And I'm pretty sure she just went and did I might be saying it wrong, the ECM something program. It's over the pond. Somewhere, I think, over there. So I'll look at that. Just literally popped in my mind when I was reading the international thing again. For some reason, I didn't think about it before, but I'll find that and post a link for that, because I feel like that's a good program as well. And I've seen a lot of designers go there. Anyone listening, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or have any of you guys done any really great program, gone to any kind of really good school, institute? I'd love to hear from you guys if so. And then, Shelley, what did you want to add? Anything?
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea to go to adult continuing education classes that, even though they may seem a little bit basic, you really do need to get basic training as a floral designer and learn proper mechanics. And I find that a lot of older or retired florists teach these classes. And we work with Sweetwater. Hi, Jennifer, by the way. She's here in our area. So Sweetwater and Cuyamaca College both offer programs, and they may seem kind of old-fashioned or, like I said, basic, but it's really good to get that foundation. So those are great classes to go to, that by hardworking florists who've been in the industry for a long time and know proper technique and mechanics. I think that's the biggest problem with the younger people coming up. A lot of people are just starting businesses and they've never worked in a flower shop, or they've never got any kind of proper training. And this industry is notoriously bad for having any training whatsoever. It kind of marries art and craft, and that's just sometimes all over the place. So the only school, I think, and I'm sure there's probably other colleges that offer a floriculture degree, but I know Texas A&M University in Texas does. That is a very accredited program. Buddy Benz, they follow the Buddy Benz School of Design. There's a book you can order. The Buddy Benz design book is old school classic, but it has wonderful mechanics and techniques. It's like this thick and it reads like encyclopedia instructions, but it's really good. And I think everyone needs to get back to basics. We're going back to the 70s, right? We need to go back and learn how to do things properly. And I think when we are learning from each other, we go to workshops, but sometimes these workshops aren't even taught by people who know what they're doing sometimes. So going to an old-fashioned school is a great idea. I love that.
I love it. Good, good, good. Sorry, I'm reading all the comments and seeing what people are saying. Oh, and you talk about Texas A&M, and I'm pretty sure Ohio State University has a really good program too, if you want to go the college route as well.
Yeah, I actually went through South Seattle Community College's floral design program. So you can look in your local area. There's a lot of resources available. Like I said, it depends on how much, do you want to be accredited, or do you just want, design guidance?
Right. Yeah, and let me also say, just for all of you who are looking for jobs in the floral industry, not a lot of shop owners care whether you've gone to school or you're AIFD, or that helps. But what they're looking for mostly is years of experience. So you got to fake it till you make it a lot of the time. And you want to work an intern and just keep going and not giving up on working. It takes years to become an accomplished floral designer. It's not something you can learn overnight. It took me 5, probably 10 years to feel like I knew everything and I could handle anything that came my way. It's not an easy job just to get training like that and then you're ready to go. But I will tell you, shop owners and studio and event people are looking for years of experience more than they are that you went to school. And a lot of it is your own talent. So
right.
Keep that in mind.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Our next question is also from Instagram, and someone wanted to know, how do you place flowers on a cake safely? Which is very controversial, knowing from experience, because we did a video about it this year, and people literally exploded. Their heads went whoosh, and it was insane. So I actually love your response, Shelley. I'm excited for everyone to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, this seems to get folks so fired up. Guys, I have been doing cake since I was 19 years old, and I've done hundreds of cakes. And I think this question comes from more of a fear of like, oh, there's pesticides and there's, it's dirty and you're destroying the integrity of the cake and all these things. I've never had, in all my years of floral design, ever had any of my clients or their guests get sick from eating a cake that had flowers on it. There's ways that you can protect the cake if you want to by putting like wax flower. There's these little holders, but it's so awkward looking and it doesn't look that great. And to be honest with you, think about it, guys. With a cake at a wedding, most of the time that cake is a display cake. It's not something they actually even serve to you. They serve it from a sheet cake.
Right.
So everyone's fear is so irrational around this. If you want to think about it, when a caterer is going to slice that cake, they're going to take off the floral part of it anyway. So chances are whatever touches it is minimal. And you shouldn't be sticking a 6-inch stem into the cake. It's just, you only need a couple of inches. Make sure your flowers are clean and prepped before you go, so there's not gunky stuff on them and they're dry. That helps a lot. But the caterer is going to cut that away anyway because it's not aesthetically pleasing to serve a slice of cake with a bunch of flowers jabbed into it. So they're going to only serve the part of the cake that looks aesthetically pleasing on a plate. Think about it. We've all been to weddings. We have never gotten a slice of cake with flowers on it.
Or like have holes in it from the flowers. Never ever.
It never happens. I think this is an irrational fear. Also, with a lot of brides, I think in all my years I've had 1 or 2% of all the people ask about this. And if they're really an eco-friendly person, they would, there are organic options. You can buy flowers now. We're used to back in the day, you could not. But there are local growers. Grow your own flowers. Use herbs. You can buy edible flowers. Use things that are pesticide-free if this is really important to you and you're very ecologically minded. But just know most of your clients don't care. They know. I've never really had anybody worry about this. It just seems to be a new. Well, it's not new. I've been at weddings where the baker has freaked out because I'm putting flowers on the cake. Some of them want to do that themselves. There's just a small section of people that get really worked up about this. Sorry, I'm not poo-pooing that people are concerned about the pesticides. It is a true thing. But if you think about it, we're handling them all the time. They're on our hands. Flowers, we are exposed to them all the time, and you are still standing and living. So it's not a good thing that we get those things, but washing your hands and keeping your hands clean. That's my take on it. So
thanks. I appreciate it. And when we had our kind of cake debacle, I did a little bit of research too, and I did find like a really good video where a designer kind of taped everything, all the flower stems, and then before she put it in the cake, she would cut like straws and then put the stem in there. But still, even when that happens, you still have like the petals touching it. So
it's realistic to try to design like that. Even they make Yvonne little oasis, and they still sell them, little tiny oasis. People had a cake topper. And that's still not environmentally friendly to use a little oasis block that could possibly drip all over the cake. It's just calm down, people. It's not going to hurt anyone. And you are already working with flowers that are covered in pesticides. So you have to change your whole business model. You can be an organic florist, period. So I know I felt bad for Kaylee when I saw that. I was like, y'all relax. No one's going to die.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy. And then this actually brings me up to something I wanted to address too. I posted Dave and Peter were among some of our crew that went to South America, and they went to go visit some flower farms. And Peter always does this like a third of the screen, so you don't really see my arms, but he like puts them way out, and it's Mayesh Worldwide, and he literally does it everywhere on every single phone call. Like if you guys like, I know people just didn't get it. So he was at a farm and the workers are processing the flowers. And this is a farm that literally processes millions of stems of flowers. So yes, everything has pesticides on it, but the workers were very well protected. And people literally lost their cool over that too, and was like, oh my God, I had no idea. I was so unaware. Like, is Mayesh going to explain this? And they were kind of freaking out about the pesticides again. And then that they thought like it looked like they were under arrest, but they were really doing the Peter thing. The one in the front like just had her hands like straight up instead of like out. And so it just kind of turned into this whole thing. And I just think these farms, and Dave, I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit more since you were just recently there, but they provide really great jobs for these people. They take really good care of their people, just like how Mayesh takes care of us. And so having that protective gear for their work environment would be the same as like working at like a different kind of manufacturing plant with, you know, that are chemicals and things like that. Like you're not going to stop using plastic products because guess what? Those are all polymers and plastic materials, and it was liquid at some point. So I just, you know, and then I had other people like back it up and be like, you know what? I love seeing the faces of these people because we forget about that. There's people that are like picking our flowers and grading them and packaging them and working really hard to get them over to the States for us to use. And so, Dave, I just wanted to bring that up because it kind of is related to the whole cake thing. And, you know, if you wanted to talk a little bit about your trip real quick, Dave, because I know it was fun and we're going to be doing a post about it here soon.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything that I just wrote for the little blog thing, but, you know, Ecuador is pretty poor country. So if it wasn't for agriculture, a lot of those people wouldn't have jobs or be able to feed their families. That being said, we did visit our best farms, and they all are so great to their employees. I mean, they pay them better wages than anywhere. They're provided with all the necessary protection when they're working. A lot of them were wearing masks when they were doing the processing. And I asked, is that because of chemicals? And it's actually, no, it's to protect them from allergies, from pollens and stuff. So yes, they do use chemicals for pesticides and other things in the agriculture of flowers, but it's necessary to bring you a premium product. And I don't think there's really any harsh impact on the people there. Yeah, it was an amazing experience to go to Ecuador. It's nothing like what you expect until you're deep in it.
Yeah,
but without spoiling anything else I said about on the blog, I'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah, and I think we'll have that up this week too. So look out for that too, guys, up on our mayesh.com/blog. And the pollen thing is great too, a great point, because I remembered another person's comment who is a farmer florist here in the US. And she said she actually wears protective gear now, but not because of the chemicals, because of the pollens, like, you know. And I can only imagine because I'm actually allergic to most things, including flowers. And my like lymph nodes like explode when I'm actually in a real flower shop. In the cooler, it's fine typically because it's not too bad there, as long as there isn't lilies around. But I couldn't imagine how my body would react being around that all day long. And that's like my job, you know. So yeah, protective gear for pollen. Who would have thought? But now we do. Now we know.
And you guys know I'm so eco-friendly. I want everybody to practice best practices with things, and I think that we have to understand things before we freak out about them so much. We get a lot of, you know, people that just are really reactionary about things. And ideally, we wouldn't use pesticides or fungicides. Fungicides are all over roses, you know, and it's just something that's just part of the business. There's not going to be any way that, you know, we can change that. There's Veriflora practices. A lot of these farms are doing the very best they can to take care of these people. We're very conscious of that. But I think it's just, you know, you are in a business that's not eco-friendly 100%. And you know, it's accept that, and then try to explain to your clients when you're talking to them about that. Say, look, you know, we're going to do our best if this is important to you to be eco-friendly. I wouldn't put, like, back to the cake, Don't put flowers on the cake. Decorate around the cake. Use herbs. Use other alternatives, plants, whatever you need to do. And I think it's just a matter of, this is a personal thing for you, then figure out a way to make it work for your business. If you are afraid that you're going to upset some people or whatever with this situation with the cake, that honestly, it's not as scary to do as people think. So just don't destroy the cake. Don't cover it and take away from the integrity of the cake.
Right. Yeah. Of course. I see a lot of really great comments from people, so I'm going to go through those real quick. Penny says, our shop keeps notes on customers with certain allergies. I think that's a really great thing to do. Yeah. We have Amy says you can spray the back of the flowers with an edible candy sealant. I had no idea something like that exists, but that's cool to know. Yeah, that's fun.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, edible flowers. We do sell edible flowers and come in a box. Oh, I did a product guide a long time ago. Are they different? Does anyone know? I have no idea. It was like a box of edible flowers. Do you guys?
Yeah, no, we still carry those. They do need to be pre-booked, and I think there's a minimum or something. So sometimes it's feasible, sometimes it's not. If you're ever in doubt, call your sales rep. We can do some research for you. There are lists online that you can look up poisonous plants. You can always Google in the genus and species of the thing you're working with. If you don't know that, we'll provide it for you. Some things are toxic. Some things aren't, just by nature. So
right.
Definitely when in doubt,
knowing that would help.
Yeah, when in doubt, call a professional and we'll do the research on it. Try to help find an answer for you.
Right. And Penny mentioned Mayesh offers organic flowers. Thank you, Penny. We do have organic flowers. I do want to point out about that though, because I feel like just because it's organic doesn't mean that there isn't anything on it. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily good for you. So
right, but they are
that out there.
They are USDA certified as edible. So that's really important.
Edible flowers, yeah.
That means they have the minimum amount of anything that might,
the edible flowers, but I'm talking about organic in general.
Organic. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, hydroponically grown flowers, believe it or not, they can't classify them as organic because they're not grown in soil, but those flowers are almost pristine because of the way that they're grown. And so you could request hydroponically grown roses, for example. There's a few growers that do that here in California, actually. So that's another option a lot of people don't think about, because if you think how they're grown, I don't know if you guys know how hydroponically grown flowers are grown. Maybe we can do a link or show something about that, but those are pretty safe to use too.
I will add that to my show notes right now so I don't forget. Hydroponically grown. Okay. And then also, I just kind of like what Shelley was saying, Robert says, I have done hundreds of cakes over 30 years and have never had a problem. So there we go. I'm closing down the cake topic, but I think it was a good one. A good one that needed to be said. I'm glad that we had it.
Yeah.
Gets everybody's fur all up.
Right. And then just something that pops in my mind, this is also like protecting your business. Make sure that there aren't allergies. Make sure you have certain clauses in there that protect yourself from, like, if someone does happen to eat something and then has this thing, you just need to protect yourself, and make sure you have lawyers reviewing your contracts and things like that. Make sure that you got it all squared away and you're protected from all different sides. Okay, now I'm going to close down the topic. Our next question is, again, a hot topic. Woo, does it get people fired up? And someone wants to know, what are the best wire services? Why do you guys do this? But I love it. Okay, so again, this is one of the reasons why I love sites on Facebook, like all the different groups, because everyone has their own experiences. There's so much to learn from everyone, and a lot of people even share like how much money they make after the holidays and how it all breaks down, and they have percentages. So I have a few links to share with you. Desi's going to go ahead and post the first one. This first one was on the Florist Facebook group, and it had 78 comments, and then the question was very similar to this one. And so if you're going through it, the main theme of everyone, most people's answers is that you shouldn't use a wire service, that it doesn't really behoove most businesses. And I think it helps for someone that's new and is asking this question, and you're just like, oh, wire service, I need to get on there. I think it helps to understand maybe the history of wire services and how they came to be. And, you know, I remember like my BFF in Cleveland, Michael Day, he's in Flowerville. His shop's been around for a very, very long time. And he was explaining to me that, you know, they needed wire services back in the day because they'd get an order from their customer for someone that was out of town, and there wasn't a good way of filling it without having to like call around and figure out someone that would be reliable to fill that order. So that's how wire services popped up. Florists would join, they'd be able to cover those orders, and there'd be the payment processing that was included in that too. And then it just kind of grew into this huge industry of its own. And so that's kind of how it came to be. And so when you're thinking about today, and with Google and all the different search engines and all the different things that people can kind of find out about different services, including floral design, and buying those flowers for their loved ones, or for someone that they would like to honor in a different city, it's really easy now as long as you have a good website. But I did want to mention another article. It's from Flora Next, and it's all about what is flower wire service. That's what it was called. So we'll share that with you too, so that we can kind of get the background information about that a little bit more. But I did want to mention, as I was going through all of the comments, I did see a few people advocate for wire services and that they could be beneficial for especially newer businesses. And someone had said that it might work in their benefit to do it for like about a year. And that way you have like instant kind of like SEO, and you're instantly visible. And then but you got to make sure you get all of that information. You use that information that you're getting to make sure you like keep it in your own database, and then market to those people, and then, you can move on. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm just passing along the information. And again, I don't know what makes a wire service the best over another. I did read that some people had some good things to say about Teleflora, B. Brooks, and Flower Shop Network. So we'll post links, and those will be in the show notes as well. And then just a side comment, because a lot of people are talking about Bloom Nation, which is like a website. I feel like it's more of like an Etsy for floral design, right? So it's all these florists, and they have their own little pages on Bloom Nation, but they also get their own website, and they also offer POS. So that might be another option for you to take a peek at. I'm not sure. I would love to hear from you guys to know your experiences with all these different things. But it was fun kind of going through this exercise of kind of learning more. I always had my own kind of thoughts about it in general, but I've never really dug into it the way I did. But Dave, Shelley, do you guys have anything you wanted to share on this?
I do.
I bet you do, girl.
Let me just say, I don't hate wire services, but I don't think they're necessary for most florists. And having worked over the years in shops that had wire service and used programs like B. Brooks, which I'm a huge fan of B. Brooks, I can remember back in the day, I think it was maybe late 80s, early 90s, B. Brooks was a book that you ordered from them. They sent a book out. It was like a florist collective or membership. And I worked for a very high-end florist in Dallas, Texas called Mille Fleur. And whenever they needed to order something, they would go through the book and find a florist in that city or state and order. And you became like this network, camaraderie of florists, and you gave them the order, they would give you the order. You sort of share the orders. B. Brooks gets a percentage, I believe, and they do feed. And with B. Brooks, you have to be either invited to join B. Brooks, or you have to be juried in. So you have to submit your work. They only have a certain kind of florist. It's more of upscale, stylized. It sounds a little snobby, but they really care about the quality of the florist that they're using. So you're not going to find, chain flower shops in B. Brooks. Like with wire services, you can click on anyone's website that's in a wire service, and usually it's a page of all the FTD designs or Teleflora designs. If you go to B. Brooks, you're actually going to look at that florist work. So that's really nice. You can pick out the florist. And so when Bloom Nation came along, they sort of took that Beebrook principle. I was actually in the pilot program for Bloom Nation when it first started. And they will take the orders and they give you they take a percentage, I think it's 20%, and then they pay you immediately. So with other wire services like Beebrooks and other places, you get a monthly statement, you either owe or you pay, right? With Bloom Nation, they take that percentage out right away and they give you the money. That's really awesome for a florist because you need working capital and money. You need your money. You can't wait. So it's kind of a good thing. I think with wire service, the problem is it's really stigmatized in the public. So you have like this FTD arrangement or this teleflora arrangement, and there's nothing wrong with those. But if your look is not that, then I don't think a wire service works the best for you. And they can cost you thousands of dollars in fees. And the other problem a lot of people have, the public has this problem with opening up, it used to be the phone book, but now you can Google and you click on this 800 numbers and it was ABC Florist in your town. It actually wasn't even in your town. These were clearing. No. So you call this number and it's in New Jersey and they're getting a percentage and a fee and the wire service fee. And then they're calling back the city that you're in and giving that florist the order. Totally cuts the florist and gives the florist a bad name because customers spent $100 and they get this $25 arrangement, and it's made the floral industry. It's one of the problems in the floral industry. It's really created lack of value. People think flowers are expensive because they ordered this and they get that. You know, pick up the phone and call your florist in your city and give them the order. So, you know, this is a very passionate argument that a lot of people have about wire service because they feel like it's not beneficial to them because they're not, they're only getting a percentage of the arrangement, and the arrangement that the customer gets. Consumer complaint is always, this is not like the picture, and this isn't how much I spent. This is how much I spent. This is what I got. So I would be very careful of that and use a service like Beebrooks, which is very well respected. Bloom Nation, when they first started, they were a little bit more exclusive. Now they've got more of the general floral. I think it's more profitable for them to have a bigger, broader base of florists, but I still think they try to keep a certain quality and look about them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a passionate topic with florists.
Yeah, it is. And I also think it also depends on kind of what you're looking at and crunching the numbers, because if you're looking for someone to provide your website and the point of sale and those types of things, then you're going to pay for it. But then you just need to make sure that it makes sense, that you understand all the fees and all the different terms of the contract and the containers. And it's very complicated, but just to make sure that you're crunching those numbers, and you got to be a business person before a design person in this scenario, and just go through all those things and see what makes sense for you. Yeah, hot topic. Let's see. Carrie says, I only keep wire services for international orders. So there's some, and I saw someone else. Who else was here? Penny says, always choose a wire service that gives you control of your page.
Definitely.
Good point. Yes. Robert says, with technology today, wire services are not needed. They're not cost effective for the retailer.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's again another hot topic. I think we did okay. Getting through it. Good. All good. But yeah, do your homework and then you'll be good. I'm moving on to the next question. The next question is, someone wants to know, and it's from Instagram, how do they get reorders? How do you get someone who ordered flowers online to order again? Shelley, what do you think?
Well, I mean, to be obvious about it, do great work, give excellent customer service, deliver what you promised. If somebody orders something from your shop, take care of that order, get back to them right away, send a picture of the arrangement that you did. People love that. They love to see what they're sending. It goes back to consumer confidence in what they paid for versus what they get. This is a great way to get people back ordering. And just keep in mind, most people, the public, they don't order flowers every week or once a month even. It's usually twice a year. or if there's a funeral, or they need to come in for weddings. A lot of your customers usually are, if you have a retail brick and mortar shop, is walk-in business. So make sure you're providing, if it's an online customer, a little bit of a personal aspect to it. Send them a thank you note, types. We appreciate this order so much. We'd love to hear your feedback about it. Do whatever you can to get them to come visit your shop. A lot of customers, like when I had my shops, so many of them were customers of mine for years and they never even walked into my door. So hosting an open house or doing a little event. Christmas open houses are great for that. Just be personal. People are, it's like, I always use this analogy, it's like finding the perfect hairstylist. It's really hard to find a good florist that you like. It's really hard. And with fewer and fewer brick and mortar shops, you have to stand out from the crowd. So do everything you can to give personal attention. Don't just be an order taker. I feel like some people just get those orders, especially online. And a lot of us are sort of introverted, so we don't like communicating with people face to face. And so, send a note, say thank you, be gracious, be always gracious for that business. That's just probably one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I think also it makes sense to, get their contact information and use that in your marketing efforts. If they're sending anniversary flowers, make note of the anniversary, or if it's birthday, make note of that birthday, and then make sure that you have marketing campaigns in place to make sure that you're reminding people like, hey, this is coming up and, we work together and let's do this again. Doing things like that, I think, is really helpful as well. So just
showing people you want their business, it's huge. That is just so huge. And I think that a customer appreciates that you do want business, and giving them a little coupon or waiving the delivery fee on the next order, things like that. Always, people love deals. So give them a little something.
Yeah. And then also it's something that popped in my mind and that I've seen some florists do is they have like kind of a subscription service, right? So like if their wife loves flowers, wouldn't it be great to kind of upsell them and be like, hey, she loves flowers. Why don't we do like, you can do like 4 things throughout the year, just a way to kind of have that more business, and they look even that much better, to whoever they're sending flowers to.
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah. Or like if they're getting it for themselves and they just love having flowers in their home, having those types of packages available for people, I think is a really good thing to kind of try out and test and play around with too.
Or, if you have a really good client or someone who's ordered a few times, send them a flower arrangement. If they're ordering all the time and they become a good customer, do something for them during the holidays. Send them a poinsettia or something, appreciating them. Customers love to be appreciated. They can shop anywhere. Always remember that.
Right. Yeah. Good stuff. I have a question from Lori. She wants to know, is chocolate Cosmo edible? Having a wedding coming up. No pun.
It sounds like it is.
Honestly, I have no idea. I'd have to research that. I don't know. We can find that out for you.
Find out for you, because I for some reason think Cosmos is edible. I seem to see that sometimes in edible flower things, but I don't know if chocolate Cosmos is. Which, by the way, is one of the rarer Cosmos. I don't know if you guys know that, but chocolate Cosmos in particular is a rarer color Cosmos.
I have no idea. I'm wondering, like, if it could be edible, but if I had to guess, literally, I would say probably ours are not edible unless.
Yeah.
I feel like not unless they have the USDA certification on them.
Yeah. You would have to get them specifically that way, but we'll definitely take a peek at that and find out more information. I think that'd be fun. A good follow-up. Right. My next question is from Erica. She wants to know, how do I pick flower colors that coordinate well and add depth to an arrangement?
Well, you have to kind of decide on the color palette first. And if you're new to designing or you haven't done this for a while, you can always go to the color wheel and say, what complementary colors look well together. Monochromatic always looks nice, but you can do shades. I do something called white on white, where it may be all white arrangement, but I use ivories and creams and more dusky colors to make it have depth in it. That's the best way to start off. I would work with a very small color palette to begin with, not get yourself overwhelmed with the rainbow of colors. But there's so many beautiful shades of pink and lavender. You could start off with different shades from lightest to darkest, or that's a good way to learn how to do blending with colors. But that's an art question. That's your artistry. And you have to decide, what your favorite color palettes are and how to work with them. But, sometimes just painting and drawing, even if you're not that great at artists, just sometimes playing with color combinations will help you decide what looks great. And then you can always go to our Mayesh polls on our website, because we've got great color combinations there. Kelly has done some beautiful polls. We do polls at our locations. Or have your sales rep help you. Say, this is my color palette. Can you pick out some flowers that will work together for me if you're unfamiliar? So lots of ways. We're here to help you, by the way. So your salesperson is not an order taker. They're your advocate in the flower warehouse. So we are here to help you with choosing color combinations.
Love it.
Yeah, going back to my color theory classes I took, I think a lot of it has to do with highlighting and shadowing. So your darker colors are going to add shadow and depth to your arrangements, whereas your lighter colors are going to pop out and kind of create some higher areas. So I think it's also placement of your flowers and not just having them all at one plane. Having some inserted deeper in than others is going to give you some difference in the tonality of your final product.
Yeah, doing it in and out is good. And try to avoid doing what I call polka dot color combinations, like black and white. Even though we're doing this Halloween theme, I'm going to do mostly all white flowers with a black accent. Or if you do red and white, that's very severe looking. So it only really works for like novelty things, or when you're trying to create a look that's sort of gothy or whatever. But if you do too much harsh color combinations, they're not visually appealing to the eye. Yellow, always remember, is a value color and it shows up really well. Purples and dark colors recede. And so you want to be careful of how you put those two sharp contrasting things together. So that's why doing a palette of those shades works better. Dusky lavenders with gold look better than a bright yellow and a bright purple together, or dark purple together. So
yeah, unless you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah. my design teacher in Seattle had a bunch of cool little sayings, but he used to always talk about, if you want an arrangement to pop, either put white or yellow in it, because that's going to make it stand out more. So
yeah, the eye goes right to those colors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I'm going to share one last comment, and before I move on, Christina says, I feel like I'm going to church because I'm over here shaking my head saying, amen. Woo! I think that's fun. So I'm going to move on to the marketing piece of it. I know you guys are busy, so I just wanted to say thank you, Dave and Shelley, for joining me for a little bit and answering our questions. And I hope you guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right. See you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. It's just you guys and me. So I have one last question, guys, to wrap up the show. And again, it's from Instagram. Again, you guys were awesome. Went on to Instagram and I was like, hey, I need questions. And you guys gave me questions. And I loved it. So awesome. My last question is from someone, don't know who. She wants to know, how do I get more clients for my marketing efforts? And this is something that I've been talking about for a while, just in bits and pieces. And I did kind of a whole social media thing a couple weeks ago. So if you missed that, make sure you check it out. But I think to get more clients from your marketing efforts, you have to just be very intentional in what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So, every year I put together a marketing plan of what I want to do, kind of more general types of things. So I have some of the big events and big workshops and the video shoots and all of that. But there's always a point to it. And for me, most of it comes down to content marketing and bringing people into our funnel. So you want to figure out, well, what is your community want to see? Who are you trying to reach? And making sure that you're where you need to be to reach those people. So, that's a little bit of homework for you. Just making sure if you're concentrating on brides, that, Instagram and Pinterest, because that's where they go to kind of find all their things, that you're using the right hashtags, that you have a really great website. So when they see your marketing and it comes across and grabs their attention, you got to make sure that you have a call to action. That's huge for me. I feel like I see tons of marketing out there that doesn't have a really strong call to action, or none at all. But you want to make sure that you have a call to action and they have somewhere powerful to take them. So they see your marketing, they click or go visit or call or message, however that looks for your business, and they get to your website, and they're going to be doing all this research, because everyone wants to research everything before they talk to someone, right? I think it's like, I forget the percentage, but pretty much everyone knows as much as they can about you before they even do business with you. So give them that place to go to get that information. And when they get there, you want to make sure that you like feed them, and that, if you go to our website, there's a subscribe button. I have my registration button on when you guys download something. So like if you have a download for a client, right, that you created this, nice download, that you're gathering their information so that way you can continue to talk to them. Hopefully you maybe have a CRM, and that CRM, you have all that information, kind of what downloads they have and things like that. And this gets into like the technical piece of marketing, but I think that part is just as important as the creative part. That's why I love my job, because I'm like kind of 50-50. I'm very analytical, and I love the creative piece of it too. And you just got to figure out how to marry those things. So you got to have the technical piece too. So all of you guys that are kind of maybe a little bit nervous about like the website part, or I see a lot of it, especially after a couple weeks ago, where they're like, I don't know that, and that's not me. That's, I'm a designer. But these days, it's pretty amazing when you think about what businesses had to do to start a business compared to what it is now. And like, for example, a website, you used to have to spend so much money to get a website up and starting. Now it's like, slap down $50 to $100. You have your domain, you like bought, your server package and all of that fun stuff. And you can like build your own website in a day, ideally, if you had that time and you kind of were comfortable with it. But it's something that you can learn. Anyone can learn. It's not too difficult, especially with like the content management, and it's, just blocks of things. So I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but having a very strong website, I think, is just really important to get more clients from your marketing efforts. Making sure that you have all the different scenarios marked down. So who are your clients and what do they want from you, and what are those questions that they're going to ask? And make sure that you're prepared for those questions in advance. Make sure you're preparing content for them in advance, because then you're going to wow them, right? You need to, kind of like Shelley said, you can buy flowers from anywhere, but what makes you stand out? How do you wow them? And you got to make sure that you put that into your marketing plan. And so again, for me and for my team, I always think of everything as a funnel, right? So, all the content is kind of up here. The social media is how I get people into the funnel, doing email marketing. You can even do direct mail, that type of thing, because, mail is not always, I think it's kind of looked down upon, but, it still could be powerful if it's done correctly. But again, having a strong CTA, having a strong landing page where they're going to go there and you're asking for their information. And then that way you can continue to nurture them and help them turn into clients. Whereas if you have a weak website and you're not gathering their information, you have no way of nurturing them, then your results are going to show that. Whereas you have a strong presence and you have the CTAs and you have the forms, and you have some downloads, and you have content for them, then you're gonna grab more of their attention. You're gonna keep them on. They're gonna give you some of their personal information, like their name and email address, and then you can again nurture them. But you've got to have those things lined up. And so, when someone asks this question, it's hard for me to know what they really want. And so I hope that helps and gives you guys some kind of direction. But if that was your question, and if I'm not answering it, let me know more specifically about what you're looking for, and we can talk about that, because I'm always up for talking about marketing and what I think will help you guys. Again, my opinion, but you know, I hope that you can take my 2 cents and do something with it. All right, guys. Any other questions? I know I don't have my flower wizards with me right now. But do you guys have any other questions before we move on to the last piece? I think this is it. All right. So we're like wrapping up the show, guys. I wanted to make sure that you, again, mark your calendars down for November 20th. That'll be our next Mornings with Mayesh. I also want to make sure that you go ahead and mark your calendars down for Halloween, October 31st. And if you have a local Mayesh, be sure to come and visit us and party like it's 1978. It's going to be so much fun. You don't want to miss it. All of our branches love a reason to dress up and have fun. So I hope that you can join us and celebrate our anniversary. I still can't believe 40 years, right? It's insane. And that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap up the show and do my usual thing. So if you guys are new to this show, I hope that you follow our channel. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you like our page on Facebook and turn on that you want to be notified when we go live. I hope that you share us, please. Share the love. I love the love. And I just wanted to thank you guys again for coming and being a part of the show. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. And as I always say, I love doing this. One of my favorite things. And this time my power didn't go out, so thank you. That was not fun last time. So our power's back on, we're all good, and I hope that you guys can join us next month with myself, Dave, and Shelley, and we answer your flower questions. Have an amazing October, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.